Women, I bet I can make you put a finger down by the first question. Put a finger down if you've ever been so overweight that you always wore the same 3 hoodies until they stank because it was the only thing that fit. In my junior year of school, I was attached to the same hoodie rotation because it was the only thing that hid my baby powder covered rolls to make sure I didn't get an infection. I wore it throughout the entire school year, during fall, winter, spring, and summer. I even refused to take it off after gym class, which meant there was a trail of stink following me for the rest of the day. My best friend would shower me in her weird Bath and Body Works perfume, which made me smell like sexy Oscar the Grouch. Time and time again she would beg me to just get rid of the hoodie entirely. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't trying to only hide my rolls from everyone else, I was trying to hide them from my crush. Let's call him Flynn. Up until that point, Flynn and I had never talked in person. We had completely different classes, and from what I heard, he was a terribly awkward guy. He was always the first one to eat his lunch so that he could leave the cafeteria quicker and not talk to anyone. We had only DM'd each other on Insta back and forth all night, but neither of us had the courage to talk to each other. All I could manage was sending him memes. So to break the ice, we made a deal that on the last day of school we would meet up at 7-Eleven to get Slurpees. So on the last day of school I wore a compression shirt under my hoodie to really make sure there was no way he would see my rolls. During gym class that day, it was over 90 degrees, and for the first time ever my PE teacher bribed me with Slurpee money to take off my hoodie. It took a lot out of me, but eventually I shoved it in a locker and went to class. That entire period I was just sweating out of my mind, wishing the time would pass faster. When I went back to change into my musty hoodie, it was gone. Someone stole my hoodie from my locker. I was late to my next class just looking for it in all the other lockers. It was nowhere to be found. The next period I asked my best friend if she was the one who stole my hoodie, and she said, "Girl, it's mid-June, what do I need a hoodie for?" Which is like, yeah, fair, but that wasn't helping me. I had a slushy date in 2 hours. After gym class I was super self-conscious and I kept looking around to see if people were looking at my rolls, but surprisingly, nobody noticed. Up until it was time for me to link up with Flynn. When the final bell rang, that's when hell broke loose. The hallways were flooded with students, and at the doors everyone was squeezing to get through like there was a Taylor Swift concert flash sale. When I was in the crowd trying to shimmy my way out, this random girl shoved me and said, "Can you move? You're bigger than Nina from Sing." That completely shut me down. How the hell was she so quick with it? Is that what people call me? I started to spiral and it became hard to breathe. It felt like everyone was watching me. I was the last to leave school that day because I was found by a janitor crying in the bathroom. I ended up standing up Flynn that day and he texted me but ignored it. I just stopped talking to him as a whole. When I went to my best friend's house I told her about it and she had this poker face on. When I asked her what's up, she confessed that she was the one who hid my hoodie. Before I pimp slapped her, I asked her why on God's green earth she'd do that to me. She said that she wanted me to open up and be confident in my own skin, but realized that she went in the completely wrong way about it. I couldn't stop crying. It was so embarrassing having my snot run down her shirt. I just wailed on about how much I hated being fat and how hard it was to lose weight because believe me, I've tried before. She kissed my forehead and told me not to worry. She was going to make it up to me. She sat me down and together she made me a personalized gym routine, listed my favorite foods and made me a diet, and even ordered me collagen appetite suppressants. She looked me in the eye and promised me that before school started I was going to be a new woman, that I was going to leave Flynn gagged. The first day of summer we got straight to work. She woke me up early and we went for morning walks. She talked to me a lot about how losing weight is a mental battle more than it is a physical one. She said the key was to be consistent no matter how distant it feels, because eventually I'll reach my goals. That meant being consistent in every aspect, sleeping at the same time every night, drinking enough water, taking Abi 2 times a day, and keeping my room clean. She promised that as long as I kept doing that my life would change. I told her that my goal was to lose 30 pounds and she said that that was light work. On top of our morning walks we'd go to the gym at night when no one was there and use the elliptical machine. Afterwards, we'd explain to my mom what meals I should be eating during the week. After 1 month of taking Abi every day and getting exercise, I lost 11 pounds. I never thought I would see the scale reach 150 pounds. I thought I'd have to stab myself with Ozempic if I was ever going to get to that level. When I sent my best friend a picture of the scale, she told me there was no time to celebrate left since we had to keep on going. There were times where I'd slip up in being consistent, like I would forget to take my pills at night, and if I didn't report back to my friend she would call me at the middle of the night to take my weight loss pill. At times I got annoyed with how stingy she was, but I knew she was doing everything she could to help me. She became the all might to my deco. After 2 months my weight loss accelerated and I lost 27 pounds. I was scared that I was going to plateau then and there, so I started to increase my mobility. I used the Stairmaster to shed off pounds and went for runs to keep up the momentum. The day before the first day of school, we both watched me step on the scale and watched the numbers go up and down. I now weigh 116 pounds. I lost over 40 pounds in 3 months. We both celebrated and I finally had a cheat meal of some cake. But then it was go time. I had to shut everyone else and gag Flynn the next day. So the next day I wore one of my old hoodies, a bunch of layers underneath, and my baggiest pants. When I got to school some people saw a small difference in my face, but no one really said anything. It was until gym class where I finally took off everything. I wore my high-waisted shorts and my tightest shirt. Everyone in my class was gagged. That hoe who called me Nina from Sing was not only gagged but also broke out during the summer, so now she looked like thin crust pizza. I didn't have any skin problems because I took Abi and my sweat literally made me shine. Even though I shut everyone up, I wanted to see Flynn. I spent the entire day looking for him but I couldn't. After school my best friend and I went to get Slurpees at 7-Eleven and lo and behold, Flynn was also there. But something was different about him. Flynn had gained a lot of weight over the summer. When I approached him, he tried to brush past me with his head down, but I was able to get through to him. When we looked at each other face to face, he couldn't help but smile really hard, and I immediately apologized for ghosting him. I wanted to know if we could try again since things got off on the wrong foot, and after a little convincing, he agreed. He said he was embarrassed because he changed so much over the summer, but I told him not to worry, cause I could give him the perfect workout. Edit. A lot of you are asking what workout I used. It was just a lot of HIIT training. Also, many of you want the magic pills that help with skin and suppress your appetite. They are called Abi Elite, and they have worked wonders for me.